welcome to my channel, Rob here. Today we're checking out this new release from Leatherman, the Bond multi-tool. It was released a few weeks ago, and personally I wasn't all that excited about it. The way I saw it, it was just a watered down version of the rebar with no lockable tools, but in the end I did decide to give it a try and see if it's any good. Without any further ado, let's get started. This is the box it came in, nice Leatherman branding on top. Let's open it up. We have the same thank you note followed up by a quick startup guide on how to use it. And underneath, the tool and the nylon sheet for it. That's about it. Let's go ahead and check out the tool set. All the tools in here are fitted in this 4-inch or 10cm frame. Width is 1.21 inches or 3 centimeters, and thickness stands at 0.56 inches or 1.4 centimeters. Also, the overall weight sits at around 6.21 ounces or 176 grams. So dimension and weight wise, I'd say this tool is definitely pocketable for EDC. Here it is next to the Surge and the Charge to give you some idea. Let's put them like this. There we go. Now let's open it up. And as you can see, mine's pretty stiff, but all Leathermans need some time to break in and loosen up in the beginning. We've got the same plier head as on the second generation Leatherman Wave. You'll notice the absence of the wire crimper down here. Comes up to a fine point, so it's perfect for precision work. We have needle nose pliers, regular pliers, wire cutters, and hard wire cutters. They're unfortunately not replaceable, but on the bright side, you've got more real estate in the regular plier area as opposed to the newer design, as you can see. And mine also have some slight interference between them as I close them down, but it's nothing to worry about in the end. So the tools are easy to fan out with not that much friction between them. They have mainly placed some washers in between some of the tools. And as I was saying in the beginning, the tools do not lock. However, they are held in tension via this slip lock here. Let me quickly demonstrate. Okay. So this makes it also legal to carry in the UK. I don't know if there are any other countries that have a ban on lockable blades. But moving on, the lock does what it's supposed to. However, the main blade design could have used a bit more work put into it. It's also the reason for a lot of complaints out there. Notice the play between the frame slip lock edge and the blade. Plus, there's a lower friction between the tools which I was talking a bit earlier. And they all have this outcome. The blade tip could potentially come out while deploying or using the tool, and it could lead to some nasty cuts. And I don't think Leatherman's going to make recalls on these. It is, in the end, a cost-effective tool. This issue could potentially be fixed by tightening down the pivot screws, or you could use thicker washers, or as a last resort, you could sand down the blade tip altogether. And just as a quick comparison, let me get my Surge here. Notice the safety features on this item. So the blades won't budge open while the pliers are deployed. And that's thanks to this pin here that gradually slips into the thumb hole of each blade as you open it up. Now back to the Bond tool. The blade itself's alright. Lengthwise you're looking at 2.9 inches or 7.36 centimeters. That's measured from the pivot point here. It's made out of the same old 420 high carbon steel, so edge retention's not who knows what, but it's easy to sharpen and maintain. And it did came razor sharp out of the box. Let's go ahead and do a quick cut test. Focus. Alright. Next up, the bottle or the can opener work great. The wire stripper down here does a decent job. Let's test it out. So fold the tool first, bring it down a bit, and let me get some wire here. Sort of trap it in here between the body of the tool and the cutters and start rotating. And then pull. And it did a decent enough job. Okay, the large Phillips screwdriver is really beefy. There's no bit holder in here, unfortunately. However, you can still fit the 2D Leatherman bits in here with the help of the bit driver, sold separately, of course. Now let's check off the other side, so fan them out. We'll pick the file first. It's the same file as on the rebar. Really aggressive cross cut on this side, single cut pattern on the other one. And of course, you've got the edge file. They all work great for wood or metal work. We've got 2 flatheads in here, because every single Leatherman needs at least 2 flatheads. But yeah, you can use the bigger one for scraping stuff or light prying, for example. And what else? Come here. The awl, which is useful for drilling holes, striking a ferrocene rod. You can use it as a punch and so on. And one more thing right behind the file. We've got a lanyard ring, which sits nicely and centered when the tool is folded. Now that all the cards are on the table, I think it's time to quickly go over some pros and cons and come up with some final conclusions for this item. So pros first. First pro that I'll add is the pricing. You can get this tool for 50 bucks, which is right in the Rev, Sidekick or Wingman playground. Next up, the non-locking blade and blade length make it legal to carry in the UK, although truth be told, you can still drive this through something and still keep your fingers. If you'll notice, this, we'll call it a little finger choil here, props onto the tool frame when depressed, so that's one way to go around it. Next up, for its size and weight, it's ideal for pocket carry. You do, however, have the sheath option. There's the pocket clip for it, sold separately for $9 on their store as well. As far as cons go, the first one, the blade issue. You could potentially injure yourself, but if you do like the tool for what it is and be careful or just buff out the blade tip, congrats, it's still a good choice. And the last one, there's no saw or serrated blade on this tool. They did, however, decide to put 2 flat heads in there. Conclusion time. So if the country you live in has these restrictions, you don't have a lot of options anyways. In that case, you're in luck. The Leatherman Bond's perfect for you. However, you can still get a Swiss Army knife such as this Victorinox Huntsman here, or any other really. Pair it with an Ipex and you're all set. Or just get a knifeless rebar. You get lock-in tools, replaceable wire cutters, scissors, and a saw in addition. And just pair it with any slip joint you want. If, however, there are no such restrictions, I really don't see the point. Now, granted, the rebar will be a tad bit more expensive, but it offers so much more functionality than this. And the third thing would be perhaps you just want a compact tool that won't break the bank and this one just meets your needs. Or maybe you get it as a gift for someone, have it engraved and so on. Well, this completes this week's video, so thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if anything's unclear or wrong. And until the next one, bye.